clase, habla la profesora B y quiero repasar un poquito esto. I want to go over a little bit the feminine and masculine nouns. I know you already viewed the video, but it might help you a little bit, right? To go over it since I didn't have time in class. So any noun can be feminine or masculine. And here's a rule that helps you recognize which nouns are feminine and which ones are masculine. So if you remember loner, it's easier because if anything ends in L, like papel, el papel, it's masculine, right? And el libro, el pan, el café, el valor. Do you see the endings? Loner. So it's a good way to remember. But obviously the ones that end in E, you would have to memorize because you can find words that end in E that are masculine and that are also feminine, okay? And of course, there are exceptions to the rules, right? So you have to memorize some of the exceptions to the rules, like this one, el problema, el tema, el programa, el día y el mapa, okay? For the feminine words, it's fade, if you can remember from feminine, and then fade, sion, umbre are the endings. Fade, sion, umbre are for feminine nouns, and loner are for masculine nouns. So if you look at it, the ending of fade, right? There's no word that ends in F really. There's golf, but it's borrowed from the English. The only one, we don't have any words that end in F. Just to remember fade, that they're feminine. So la casa, la pared, la calle, la canción, la misión, la costumbre. And you have to memorize la calle, la noche, la tarde, y la clase. El coche is masculine, but these words are, feminine. And you have to memorize those specific ones that I give you. And then the exceptions to the rules are la foto, la moto, and la mano. So anything that is exception to the rules, they're not following these rules, and you just have to memorize it. So how do you do the exercise right here? You have to look at this word, and you're supposed to fill in el, la, los, o las. Okay? So you have to think, okay, this ends in S, so it's plural, so you're going to pick between los o las. Okay? And you're like, okay, the words that end in E are the only ones that I gave you here. Café, calle, la noche, la tarde, la clase, y el coche. So this one is not part of the list. So the ending is not the E. The ending is the N. And you're thinking it's loner. But guess what? It's not loner. It's actually the sion that you see right here. Sion. Okay? So you have to go beyond that and just see the sion right here. And you're like, okay, it's feminine, but it's plural. That's why the answer will be las visiones. Clase. And you're like, oh, it's plural. So it's between los o las, right? The plural form. So do you see el, la is singular? Los o las is plural. So if you think that way, then you have 50-50 chance of getting it right, right? So las clases, this will be las clases because I see la clase is feminine. Problema, you're like, oh, I see it's one of the exceptions to the rule. So this is masculine, singular. So it'll be el. Bolígrafo, I'm thinking loner, ends in O, right? Loner right here. So it's singular, so it'll be el. Okay? Cuaderno ends in O, so loner, el cuaderno. Edades, and you're like, oh, where do I go? If it's not one of these words, calle, tarde, noche, clase, o café, or el coche, then it just ends in D over here. Remember when it ends in a consonant, you add ES for the plural form. So this one will be el o las. I'm looking, oh, it's fade. So it's las. Certidumbre, oh, it's umbre, so be la, okay, because it's singular. Calles is plural, and I see is la calle, so be las calles, okay? That's how you would determine whether a word is feminine or masculine, by the endings. Loner, masculine. Fade, sion, umbre for the feminine. And just try to study that, right? And try to study the verb ser, remember? I don't know if you remember all this. You have to say yo soy. It's not written in here, but it'll be yo soy, right? Tú eres, él, ella, usted es, We have nosotros, somos, vosotros, sois, ellos, ellas, and ustedes son. Okay, so those are the options. So here I'm like, oh, yo. Okay, then here the verb, the appropriate form of the verb ser is soy. You would have to fill in the blank, for example, on the test. And then nosotros will be somos, right? Because I see nosotros right here, somos. Carla is a she. So which one is she? Ella. So you would have to write es. Vosotros is easy right here. Sois. Y tú is eres. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have agreement, right? With the subject as you're doing this. And you have to memorize this part. Yo soy, tú eres, él es, because that's not on the test. It's not listed, huh? You have to have it in your brain. And then with the time, since we have it here, let me do one with you. So you want to say it is 4:30 in the afternoon. So in Spanish, you will say son las 4:30 o 30. Write one of those. Don't write both of them on the test, right? If they give you that. Or pick the right one. De la tarde. Like that. Okay, that's how you would do it. Do you want to do one more? This one, ¿qué hora es? This one is 1 o'clock. From 1 o'clock, you have to say es la 1:15. O quarter, right? Past the hour de la mañana. Okay. I hope it helps you see how, the masculine and feminine nouns work. And also a little bit about the verb ser and the time, okay, that you have to study for the test. Try to do one topic each day and really study, this whole week so you can take the test on Monday through bhlcentral.com. Okay, that's it. Bye.